Back with Life with Miss H, there was a request from Destiny to go over multiplying polynomials. So I want to work a few examples of those. Not quite sure exactly what polynomials that you'll be working with, so I'm going to give you about 4 different examples. Let's get started. If you look at the examples that we're going to work, there's about 3 different ways that this can kind of be presented to you. I'm not quite sure exactly what work that you're dealing with when you're multiplying polynomials, so I'm going to show a little bit of an example of each. You could have kind of just one term on the outside multiplied through a polynomial. Each time you multiply through, you're going to distribute what's on the outside to what's on the inside. You'll multiply your whole numbers together, so 4 times 2 is 8. And then when you multiply your exponents together, x squared times x squared, you would add the 2 exponents, so that would come out as x to the 4th. Multiply again. 4 times 4 is 16. Both of those are positive. X squared plus x would be x to the 3rd. And then finally, 4 times 3 would be 12, and then your x squared would just kind of hang out. If you notice, you don't have any like terms. Even though all these share an x, they have different exponents, so you cannot put those together. You can only put together your exponents that are alike with the same variable. So that would be your overall final answer. Next, you could have just 2 quantities multiplied together. First, you would take one term, so the 2x, you would take it through. And it's the same process as over here. So 2 times 2 would be 8. X and x gives you x squared. 2 times 4 is 8. X tags along. Then you're going to take the 3 through. 3 times 4 is a 12. X drops down. And 3 times 4 again would be 12. And typically, if you've done these right, your 2 end terms should work almost like bookends. Typically, they can drop down because if you notice, I don't have any x squareds. So I would just bring 8x squared down. You can cross out if that helps. You keep up with what you've combined. Then I'm going to take 8x plus a 12x. That's going to give me a 20x, so those are gone. And then you're left with your other bookend, and there's nothing to put with it, so just plus 12. And then that's going to be your overall final answer because there's nothing else to put with any of your variables. Moving along, the third example is going to work a whole lot like the first 2, except just if you have a negative, keep in mind that your negative just tags along. So it'd be a negative 3 times a 2. Negative times a positive comes out as negative. 3 times 2 is 6. And then you got x to the 3rd times x to the 2nd, or plus x to the 2nd. And then you would have x to the 5th. Distribute over here. 2 negatives make a positive. 15 x to the 3rd. Multiply in here, inside. That would give you a plus 8 x squared. And then 4 times a negative 5 would be minus 20. And in this case, there's nothing to combine because you got an exponent of 5, exponent of 3, 2, and then just a constant. So that would be your final answer here. If you have just like one quantity raised to a power, you'll kind of break it down. If you kind of look, this is to the 3rd, so that's really going to be x plus 2 times x plus 2 times x plus 2. And you're just going to pick 2 of these and do your distributive first. So I want to take the x squared. X times 2 would be plus 2x. And then I'm going to take my 2 through, plus 2x. 2 times 2 is plus 4. And then I'm going to combine my like terms here. And I'm going to get x squared plus 4x plus 4. So that combined this and this, but I still have this to multiply through. So I'm just going to drop it down, and it's going to be x plus 2. And then you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to take everything through. You can either take these three through this parenthesis or these two terms in this parenthesis through here. I'm going to go back and take my x through just to keep kind of consistent. X times x squared would be x to the third. X times a 4x would be plus 4x squared. X times 4 is plus 4x. Then you're going to take your 2 to everything as well. That's going to give me a plus 2x squared. 2 times 4 is plus 8x. 2 times 4 is plus 8. If you notice again, you got the two kind of the bookend terms that you're not going to have anything to put together. There's no more x to the third, so it just kind of drops down. Then I've got an x squared and an x squared here. So 4x squared plus 2x squared is plus 6x squared. Those leave. Then I've got a 4x and an 8x. That's going to be plus 12x. Those are gone. And then I've got the plus 8 that I can't put anything together with. And that would be my overall final answer. So you got your x to the third plus 6x squared plus 12x plus 8. Be sure that you subscribe if this is the first video that you watch. Bye.